just a little bit down here, just to define that the edges of the legs a little better. I still like the little bursts of red that are showing through here, so we're going to keep those. And now to further define the legs, I've mixed up a very pale purple. So this is a combination of ultramarine blue, a little touch of cadmium red, and then some of the titanium white. So it provides a nice cool shadow colour. That we can apply to the left-hand side of the legs for the most part. So that's working reasonably well. So what I'm going to do now is zoom back out to show you the whole painting, and then we'll make some further adjustments. So on the whole, things are looking quite good. I quite like the way this cool shadow colour is working, so I'm going to use that to tie together some of the other areas. I'm less happy with these little bursts of blue I put in, so I'm going to cover some of those up in just a second. And then apart from that, I think I just need to refine the mouth area a little bit more, and then I think we'll almost be done. But let's see how it goes. So I'm going to add some of this pale purple shadow to just kind of redraw into certain areas. And by not doing this too heavily, the work that I've done previously will still show through. But because we're using, there we go, I've covered up a bit of that blue, and I think that works rather better. I'm going to keep the little bit by the ear there. But yes, by using this one colour across the whole painting, it just helps to bring things together a little better, I think. So this shadow on the nose is a little bit harsh. So we can soften that with this colour. I'm going to use some more up here, a little bit in the ears, lose some of that red. Put a little touch on the nose there, and some on the lower lip and jaw. And then I'm just adding a little bit of white to that same colour. And I'm going to put that along the upper lip here. And on the top of the nose. And I think that's almost complete now for the animal, at least for the purposes of this video. But what I do need to do is add some shadow, some cast shadow. There isn't actually much at all in my reference, but I do want to include some on the ground, and then I need to tidy up the background here a little bit as well. So what I've just done is taken the colour I used here on the knees, and I've just mixed in a little bit of the cadmium yellow. And I'm going to use that now to put in just a little bit of cast shadow on the ground. Not going to go too heavy, but it helps to create the illusion that the goat is standing there. And then having done that, I've taken the same brush without cleaning it, beyond a wipe on a paper towel, and mixed in some cadmium yellow and ultramarine blue to give me this green. And we'll just put some little bursts of that green onto the ground. And then with a little bit of extra white and cadmium yellow mixed into the same brush, just add a few bursts of light. So it's a subtle effect, but I think including that darker region helps to place the animal on the ground. Now, having got the painting to this stage, one of the things I like to do is just step back and think in very simple terms. So we've been doing quite a bit of detail and small brush work. Now, but if you think back to the start of the painting, I started with very simple shapes. So I now look at the animal again and think, well, just very simply, does this look like a three-dimensional thing with light falling on it? And in general, I think it does, but I'm going to go back to my half-inch brush with a dilute mix of titanium white and just add in a couple of quite bold brush strokes, just like I did at the start of the painting. So the first one I'm going to do is a broad one down here across the top of the head. And because that's a thin layer of paint, when that dries, the work I've done already below is still going to show through. So I'm not killing or covering up completely the work I've done. I'm just softening certain areas and bringing in, you know, a greater sense of light. So I'm going to do the same on the back here. So initially it does look like, you know, you're not going to be able to see anything at all but the white. Add an extra bit there. A sweep of hair falling down this way, just to reconnect those areas. Some touches on the legs. So I feel that's improved things quite a bit. The next thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of more of a sense of light on the ground. So I've added some cadmium yellow to my white, and again this is thin paint. I'm just, you know, very lightly brushing this across the area on the ground there, and having done that I'm just going to soften it even more with a paper towel. But now having, you know, said that I was going to do that, I think that's all I need really. I'm actually looking more closely, and I quite like the mottled texture of the first layer of paint we've got here. I think this brown area is perhaps less good, so I'm just going to cover this region and again soften the effect with the paper towel. And then I think all I'm going to do now is just fill in these areas of white paper with some blue where I didn't do that properly before. And then I'll show you a proper image of the painting. Now, because I started out with red, so as you can see, I've added in a little bit of extra blue there on the background. I'm just softening that there to sort of blend it in a little better. And I feel that was a necessary thing to do. Now, because we started with red when we did the Wheel of Fortune with the painting, I'm going to sign this painting in red. I think that'll work quite well. It'll kind of pop against the initial work that still shows through, and I like that effect, and it should work okay against the green background. So just going to pop my signature in here. There we go. Let me show you a close-up of or a better image of the painting. So here's the finished painting, along with a close-up of the goat's head. I hope you enjoyed watching this first viewer request video for the channel. And if there are any other